I worked on this circular array problem. I overcomplicated things by thinking of all the steps as a different, what's the right word here? By taking all of them as different approach. So I thought about right traversal first and then the opposite left traversal, which was wrong, but we ended up learning how to do it right. I'll still post it. Let's see what we have today. At least I don't have to sign in today. So shortest distance to target string in a circular array. So you're given a zero index circular string array. So I've never worked with circular array, but you are given a zero indexed circular string array words and a string target. Array ends connect to the array's beginning. Formally, the next element of word I is I plus 1, and the previous element of word I is word of I minus 1 modulus n. That is the length of the word. Starting from a start index, you can move to either the next word or the previous word with one step at a time. Return the shortest distance needed to reach the target if the string target does not exist. So let me think. Let's visualize it a little bit. So we are given a circular array of words. So we have, let's say there's an array. I have a word here, AB, then I have AS, and I have something else, BD, I don't know. And what happens is this. So for the word I is, so let's say if you're at this position, so 0, 1 and 2, length n is 3, right? So the previous element as per, there should be word of I, which is 1, 1 plus 1 modulus 3, that's the next element. So that's 2 modulus 3, which should be word bracket 2, that's correct, right? That's right here. And the previous element is I minus 1 plus n, so that is 1, I is at 1 minus 1 plus 3 modulus 3, so that's 3 modulus 3, that will be 0. The remainder is 0. It's correct. You can move to either the next word or the previous word with one step. So arrays ends connect. So let's say if I am at 0, my previous index should be here, right? So that would mean 0 minus 1 plus 3, that's 2 modulus 3, which is 2. So this is the formula we will use to get to that index. So either we could go forward using this formula, I plus 1 modulus n, or we can go backwards. N is the length of words. So from start index, you can either move one step closer or one step. So for each step, we have to return the shortest distance to the target. So for example, let's look at this example. Let me minimize this. So I have a string of words, hello, I am LeetCode hello. Target is hello. I'm given the start index. We start from index 1 and can reach hello by moving 3 units to the right. So 1, 2 and 3. You can reach 2 units from this side, 2 units to the left. I am at so 1 and 2. And then target is LeetCode, start index is 0, shorter distance to reach LeetCode is 1. So how would we actually, for each, so I have one target, right? So let's say, 1 second, where is this? So for each array element, and let's say target is somewhere far off, what do we need? We need for each array how many steps on the right side to reach the target, or how many steps on the left side to reach the target. But if multiple targets exist, answer should be minimum of whatever, right? That's only if there's one target. But let's say there's a target on this side. So what am I doing? What am I given? I'm given target is given. So if the start index, so we need index of the, let's say target is at index 5. So for target in, so we are given target start index, right? So what I'm looking for the target, right? Can I do for integer n equals to word dot length? It's a string, right? Words dot length, sorry, that's correct. So I have, so I'm gonna do for integer I equals to 0, I must be less than n, and I plus plus. First condition is if target doesn't exist, right? If the string if, how many, what's the n here? N is up till 100, so it's safe to go one pass if words bracket n is not equal to target string to target on -1, right? Else, what are we doing? Else, we have to find, let me have integer distance equal to, if the string does not contain, return -1. So since the length is 100, I could just do it maybe 101, doesn't matter, right? Because anyhow, if wherever we go, the distance should be less than 100. So what am I doing? If word bracket n equals to target, if we find the target, we are doing, so we have, so let me have integer right side, right traverse equals to word, the next element of word I is modulus n word bracket, right? So the next element of word I is word of, so what do I have here right now? So right now I have here is, if I find a target, right? So let's say if I found the target and I have the start index, let's say this is the start index. I want to find the distance from right side. So distance should be traverse. So I have the index of the traverse, which would be equal to i's value, right? Whatever, whenever I reach I, word bracket I, sorry. If word bracket I is not equal, else if word bracket I equal to target. So I have the target's index. Let's say this is at index is 2, right? And my start index is 0. So then what I need here is, for the next element word I, so do I keep, instead of this, first I check if the target doesn't exist. If it exists, I will do for start index, given the start index, right? Integer I must be less than equal to, let me just do this, let me loop once. So if I loop once and I check if target exists, if it doesn't exist, then well and good, and if it does exist, if target exists, what are we doing? We will start from the I must be x, what are we doing here? So if I know the, let me take another example just to be clear. I have an array of A, B, C, E. Let's say my start index is at B, right? Start index it was 0 and 1. Start index equals to 1, and my target is, let's say, D. This is target, that is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Target index equals to 3. So at this point, once I loop this, I've confirmed, let me have another D here at the end. I've confirmed the D exists. So what I want to do is I want to see the minimum distance for B to reach the target. So what I will do is, I will start another loop. Do I need a for loop? While start index is, if I do something like while start index is not word bracket, while word bracket start index, the value of start index is not equal to, I don't want to make it equal, I want to have the target. So if it's not equal to, I think I might be complexing it a little bit. So once I've confirmed the target exists, so if I start at for start index and then I want to keep increasing, so what I will do, let me see, so I will start at 4. Instead of this I could have done array dot contains, but we could use collections here, right? But let's see, so what I'm going to do for integer I equals to start index I, but to where am I looping? So what I should do, something like while my start index, I want to make the index go to target, while words bracket start index is not equal to, while we don't reach the target, what are we doing? We are gonna do integer right traverse equals to words. Let me close this 1 second, and we remove this bracket here. Oh, so while not equal, right traverse would be equals to start index plus 1 modulus n, while we're not equal to target, while we don't reach the target, right traverse, oh, got disconnected. So do I do left traversal and right traversal, and then let's do it this way. We check right traversal distance, and then we do separately for left traversal distance. So what we are doing is, so for I equal to starting index and for loop for integer I equals to start index and what I want the condition should be words bracket start index equals to target and I plus is not equal to target. I don't know if this is the right kind of loop. Might be start index and then we loop until we don't get to target. What are we doing? Let me just instead of so I must be less than what? If it, let's say our start index is here, at start index is here, so it should be length of this minus. So let's start index is 2, length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 minus 2. I'll still go up to n times, right? I must be less than n and I. And let me have integer. So let me have integer right distance right traverse equals to 0. Initialize it. If words bracket start index, the word at the index is not equal to target, what are we doing? We're gonna do right traverse. So we start at the index and we check if our word bracket start index, if it's not equal to target, then we go to the next one. And so what we do, we go to then if it's not equal to target, then I plus plus, we move on to the next thing, and then right traverse is not equal to, if it's not equals to, if word bracket I plus 1, let me do this, if the next element is plus n is not equal target, we do right traverse plus equals to 1 and I plus plus. If words bracket I, if the first element is equal to target, instead of start index equal to target, then what do? Then we do distance is to 0 and return. Right, if we found that's the closest, right? Do I even have to initialize distance equal to, okay, just do it. Let me just make it 0. Initialize distance to 0, then I'll remove this line and we just return. We don't do nothing, we go back. But so if right traverse plus equals to 1 and then integer left traverse equals to 0, if words bracket what? Now I'm gonna check the left side, that would be I minus, I minus 1 plus n modulus n, if not equal to target, then we go left traverse. If this is so when I do the loop, the first loop runs start and next, if it's equal to target, we return, we don't do nothing. If I plus 1 modulus n is not equal to target, right traverse plus 1, I plus plus, and I do press continue or break. Left traverse plus equals to 1, sorry, let me just type it for now, then I'll try to fix. Then what am I doing? I'm not gonna do I plus 1 here, and I will do I plus plus at the end of the loop. Else, what do? Else we do return right, return distance equal to math dot min of what? Right traverse comma left traverse. Then we return the distance plus plus. And do I do here? We return the distance. Let's think again. So what's happening in this loop is we start at the index where we're supposed to start, and we go n times. But let's say if this was equal to target, I think I might have mixed up the loop, but let me try to run this. It's probably not going to be correct. One of the case might accidentally be correct. Oh, it should be break, sorry. Shouldn't be return. Words dot length words dot leng cannot find. Isn't this words dot leng string array? What am I doing wrong here? Cannot find symbol words in this words right here. Do words dot length length. Is that correct? But that should be wrong, no? Words at size. I think. What am I doing wrong here? So what if I do it separately? What if I do? Let's see. Let's think about it a little more. So you're given a circular array, right? Let me remove this whole loop. So this is not working correctly. So for right traversal, integer I equal to start index. What am I doing? I'm checking if, let me do it separately, but there should be a way to do it correctly. If words of what I plus 1 modulus n is not equal to what target. Oh, this is not equal to target. What are we doing? We're doing right traverse traverse plus to 1, else if it's equal to target we break, and then we do a similar loop. Let's see, but I feel like this is too redundant. There has to be a better way. See, so again we start at the index, but this time we do I minus 1 plus n. We go the opposite way. We do left traverse plus equal to 1, return distance equals to dot min of right traverse comma left traverse. What is the issue here? So I am hello target is hello, start index is 1. So if start index is I equals to 1, I must be less than 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I must be less than 4. So we do right traverse plus equals to 1, 2, 3. Let's try to see what's wrong here. I feel like that should be the logic, right? We coin wrong to check this. That's what I did. Does the target. So what's happening here is what? So minimum distance for if dot equals targets and direct equal to math dot if circular equals to. I did this wrong the very first step. Let's redo it. So teacher n equals to words dot length. But one thing I don't understand is words is in teacher distance is equals to teacher dot max value. We want 4 I equals to with 0 or it's an n, right? And I plus plus. So what we are doing is we're checking if words bracket I dot contain dot equals target, if integer right equals to dot absolute of I minus start x, right, and integer left equals to n minus right, and distance equals to what mat dot minimum of left comma right to distance comma mat dot min of left comma right. And then what we do, we return distance equals to if it's integer dot max value is true, we return -1, else we return distance math. So this way we are also taking care of, let's say there were two different targets, right? Let's say the target exists later too, we check that again. Well, I did mess up initially. Why was I thinking about 3 loops? I shouldn't have been. Instead, it should have been an easy one. But this part kind of confused me, where they gave us all these details. Anyhow, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I don't know, I'm still struggling a little bit with learning these concepts. I don't know if you guys are at the same stage, just